Just wait a few more minutes.
Johnny, can I also have you record just because of that audio issue that I keep running into?
Yes, I'm going to record this session so that we'll have it, and we'll post it on our Animal Share site. That way it can be available in case you need to refer back to it. Yeah, this is going to be basic training. We do have individuals that are new to the system, so I'm just going to go from the very bare basic training of Episerver, and then after we're done with that training, I'm going to leave it open to anyone who has any questions or any follow-ups, or would like for us to expand on looking at their site and go over anything that needs to be addressed at that time. And I'm going to mute everyone while I'm doing the training, and I'm going to leave it open to the chat feature at the bottom. So if you need to chat, I have a question or anything like that, CJ, Stephen Campos, and we're going to introduce ourselves. We'll be monitoring the chat. So any questions you have, he'll address it either directly or he'll let me know to address it to everyone. Okay. We're just going to wait a little bit further. Let everybody sign
Hey, Johnny, I like the background.
in.
How are you?
Good, good.
Good.
It's actually the background the district provided for us. The logo is actually backwards, so I don't know if y'all can see it.
It looks
It
like,
actually looks.
yeah.
It looks okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, okay. Then to me, it just looks backwards.
Yeah.
Great.
So, Johnny, is this an onboarding or a refresher for?
It's onboarding. We have 2 new super users, so I'm going to provide training directly for them, basic training, and then after I'm done with the training, then we can open it up to all the other super users who have any questions regarding their site. And
all right.
how to do something.
Sounds
So
good.
you can just follow along with the basic training in case you need a refresher.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
And I mentioned to everyone, I'm going to mute everyone, but the chat feature is going to be available below.
Yeah.
And CJ is going to answer those questions. And if something that I need to answer, I'll answer.
All right. Thanks.
And we are going to record the session. That way we can have it available in Animal Share.
All right, great.
Awesome.
So I'm just waiting to more people.
Johnny,
Yes.
quick question.
Mhm.
Can we have our password reset?
Yes. So
I've forgotten mine.
yeah. So y'all can follow along. Anybody who needs to password reset, I can reset. I can do that before we start the training.
Okay, great.
So let me just get everyone who,
Okay.
yeah, who's going to participate to sign in. Destiny, you have a question? Thank you, Betsy, for answering. I did attach to the meeting invite a copy of the handout. So if you have time, go ahead and download it. I'm going to follow along with that document. So. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Johnny, for updating my site yesterday.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's me, Belinda.
Belinda, have you heard from Gerald?
Yes, he's in a Zoom meeting
Okay.
helping faculty right now. It's from
Oh,
8 to
okay.
12 and 1 to 5. Want me to tell him something?
Well, we invited him for this meeting, the training for him. He's one of the new super users. What we could probably do is just refer him back to this video so he can get the training that way. But he has permissions and all that, so all he has to do is just look at the video and follow along.
Yeah, he was helping a faculty when I left him.
Okay, no problem. Then we'll get started.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, so thank you for joining us for this Episerver training. Glad everyone's able to join us remotely. I hope everyone's doing well despite what's going on in the world and acclimating to our new normal. And I'm going to introduce, everyone knows who I am, Johnny Rodriguez. I work in Marketing and Strategic Communications Department. I am the Marketing and Strategic Communication Department Manager. And I have our Digital Communication Coordinator, and he's going to go ahead and
Hey everybody, I'm sorry. I keep having audio issues. We keep trying to get this resolved, but not sure what's going on. As you mentioned, my name is Steven CJ Campos. I'm the new Digital Communications Coordinator. Started this past October. I know I've met some of you and had the pleasure of working with some of you, but now that we're completely acclimated, I hope to be working with a lot of you closely. And so yeah, if you guys ever have any questions, I'll give you all my email address and my office extension and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm your go-to man. I'm the new webmaster and social media guru, all those other duties as assigned, excuse me. So nice to be here.
thank you, CJ. So we'll get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we'll walk through. Oh, before I do that, we had some people that need passwords resets. Okay, let me go ahead and do that now. Bear with me. Anybody else need a password reset?
Johnny, I probably do. It's Letty.
Okay.
Alphabet is 431.
Okay.
In a while, so yes.
No problem. All right, let me do that real quick.
Hey, Johnny.
Mhm.
Just to answer Destiny's question, do you guys know what the recommended picture size would be for here in Zoom if you're doing the backgrounds?
I think the standard right now is 1920 by 1080. It's for larger screens, so it'll respond to smaller screens. So if you go the largest, you should be safe. So it's 1920 by 1080. Anything larger than that will work. Anything smaller, you will lose pixelation depending on the size of your screen or other people's screens. Okay, so Patty, you're good to go, and Letty, and it's part of the training. So just follow the training, and I'll show you how to change. But right now, it has a generic password, and it's part of the handout that I attached to the meeting invite. So if you look at the handout, it'll tell you what your generic password is. Okay, so let me get started. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, does everyone see my Google Chrome browser? Should be a blank tab.
Yes, we do.
Okay, great. All right, so if you're following along in the handout, the web address for Episerver is epipd.alamo.edu/Episerver. Oops, let's spell it right. /CMS. Okay, now this automatically logged me in because I'm already logged in, but I'm gonna log myself out just so I can start fresh. And I'm gonna log into my test user. So you should be at this screen at this point. This is the login screen. And the login username is your ACES username. So in this case, I'm gonna use test. So but my actual login would be jrodriguez58, and then everyone else's will be their ACES user name. Just the first part. And then the password, the generic password is capital A, capital A, B, lowercase b, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the generic password. So Patty, Letty, use that and it'll log you into your account. Ray, Ronaldo, you should be able to use your username and that generic password. Okay. All right. Once you, okay, sorry. Whoa, okay. I'm gonna lock myself out. There we go. I have it saved. All right, so now I'm logged in as a user. Some of you might see a screen similar to this. Some of you might not. I think the ones that are new will see something similar to this. It should be the district homepage or something like that. And that's fine. We're not gonna work on the district page. Don't be afraid. It's right now, it's locked to you. So you're not gonna be able to edit it at all. Right now you're able to see it in the system, but you're not gonna be able to edit it. But before we move forward, I wanna show you how to change your password. So this drop-down arrow right here in the middle of the screen, click on that and it should bring you some options. And at the far right-hand corner, there's your username with the drop-down arrow. Click on that and click on My Settings. Okay, within My Settings, it gives you the option to change your password. So if you click on the checkbox, right now it's defaulted to the generic password. Go ahead and put a new password in there, something that you can remember and something that you feel comfortable with. It doesn't have to have special characters. It's up to you if you want to add special characters. There's not a character limit. It's just a password that you can use. You can keep it strong, which would be helpful, but something that you can remember. I'm just going to go ahead and change this one. And then save it. Okay, now my password has been saved. Once you saved your password, then go ahead and go to CMS at the left-hand corner and go to Edit. Edit will take you back to the edit mode in CMS. So this is the screen I was telling you about. It's the district landing page. So in order to get to your page, you'll have to click on the toggle button, which is here at the far left-hand side corner. So toggle navigation pane. And let's go ahead and pin that. That way it can stay in place. And if you notice here, there's a directory of folders. Right now it's defaulting to the district page. But if you go into the college container, it'll take you to the college container folders. Right now we have St. Philip's College, and you notice that there's not a lock there, showing you that you have some edit rights to edit a page or pages within under St. Philip's. So if you expand St. Philip's, it'll show you what you have access to edit. So this user that I have, this test user, has access to edit the About SPC, news and events, and everything underneath that. Yours might be different. You might have locks on all these. Depending on what pages you have access to, they will not have a lock to it. So just navigate to your page, and you should be able to follow along and edit the page. So I'm going to do a test page, and we have our test page under templates. And this is more or less our sandbox that we use to do anything that's brand new or test anything, any features that are coming out and stuff like that before it goes live. So this is our test page. Okay, right now it's in design view, if you look over here, and it looks similar to what's on the website, except you see some areas that shows that you can edit that. You can edit this page within the design view. It gives you some options when you do that. Like here, you get these toolbars. You're welcome to edit if you feel comfortable working in this mode. Preferably, I say not to work in this mode because you run into some chances in your content getting messed up for any reason when you try to do a break or try to insert something or copy and paste from a Word document, whatever. You run into that chance of it getting distorted in the design view. Design view is more or less like if you want to make a quick change in a spelling, or if you want to emphasize on a word or something like that, you can do that. Create a quick hyperlink, you can do that. As long as you're not making major changes, you can do things in design view on a fly. Okay, but preferably working under properties, all properties, is the best way to go. This, in all properties, it gives you the option to enter information like in fields, and then you can work with blocks that way. And it's easier to work with your blocks when you're in this view. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to show you the assets panel, which is here in the right-hand corner. It's this folder here. It's the toggle assets pane. I'm going to go ahead and pin that. And right now, in this view, I have some other options. Now, if you see any of these, you might have rights to rearrange your gadgets. I'm sorry. I'm going to just remove these. You might not have the rights to do that, but with this user, I'm able to do that. So I'm going to just remove those. And don't worry about it if you don't have it. If you see this folder structure that's currently there, where it has for all sites and then it has everything under there listed, then you're in a good spot. So let's go ahead and have that pinned. And we're going to go to the media tab here. Right now it's under blocks. We're going to go to media. Media is where you're going to have your images, your documents, and anything else to that nature within your folder for your, and you'll have to scroll down to go to St. Philip's, so SPC, and navigate to your area so you can house your documents and your images there. In this case, I'm going to go to templates, and that's where I have the test page and the documents and images that go to that are associated with that page. So right now there's no documents in there, but later on we're going to add a document. I'm going to show you how to do that. Images, just to let you know right now, the images folder is locked to everyone. So we're trying to control what kind of images are being placed on our website just for quality assurance. Not saying that you don't have good images. It's just we want to make sure that we are representing the college and your program and your department in a good light, and making sure that those quality images are uploaded and placed correctly on the website. So we want to help you with that. So if you do have images you want to put on your website, we're happy to help you. Just put in a request and we'll take care of that for you. And it's not a problem. Yes.
Completely, because we don't want to have anybody filing lawsuits or anything of that sort. So if you ever need any assistance, we have photographers. We all photograph as well, so that we're able to go into your areas wherever you are giving us access, and then take those photos for you guys and then upload them to your sites. So just so that everything also looks uniform as well.
Thank you, CJ. All right. So has everybody navigated to their respective sites or pages that they have access to edit? I know, Ray, you're new to this, so your pages will be under the academics, find your program, and business and entrepreneurship. You have access to edit all those pages that are underneath that institute folder. So you can choose any page you want to work on right now, and you're not going to publish anything. That's what's good about the system, that you don't have to publish anything unless you're ready to publish.
Gotcha.
So you can make changes to your page, and then we'll revert back to the last date it was published. That way it doesn't take the changes and go live. So because right when you submit to review, because all the pages are set. Okay, let me take this back. The majority of your pages are set under an approval process. So when you click on ready for review, it goes directly to myself and CJ to look at and review and then publish it.
Perfect.
So if everything looks good and the content looks great, then we'll publish it. And if there's something that needs to be worked on, we'll send you a message saying, hey, this needs to be tweaked, or
Awesome.
something happened with the formatting. You might want to look back and make some changes. So before it goes live. All right.
Perfect. Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the page itself. The name here is the name that's associated with the name that's here under the directory of folders or pages within the system. That way you can identify what your page is, the name of your page. That's also the title of your page. So if I were to bring up another tab and go to the test page, it's going to be this test page title here. If I change this, it's going to change the name of the page here. We don't want to do that. So say this is just a generic name for your page, just to identify in the system, but you want to change it, your title of your page, to something different, like maybe add welcome to my test page. When you publish that or submit that for publish, it will change this to welcome to my test page. And I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to ready to review. So right now it's going to go to CJ or myself to go in there and approve the page changes. So CJ, if you can approve that, just so they can see the changes go live. Okay, as soon as he approves it, then I can refresh it and it'll show.
Okay, I just approved it.
Okay, great, thank you. Oh. Okay, try it one time. Ah, there it is. Okay. So yeah, and we're good about responding to anything that's sent to us for review. Right now, in this time, working remotely, we're working with our website more and more because of what's going on. So any changes you need to do on your website, we're responding quickly to make sure that our web pages are updated with the correct information. And that's throughout the day. So whatever you sent to be approved, we'll take care of it right away. And if it's something that you need us to do, rather than waiting for a response or going through the whole approval process, and you need something to be updated right away, send myself and CJ an email, and we'll take care of that right away, because we know how important the information needs to be up on the website, especially now what's going on. All right, so I'm gonna go back to this page, test page. And you notice how it was grayed out before. The reason why is because it was under review. Right now, it's available for me to make changes. Now, this system is a little bit glitchy. If you saw that, it was blank, and so I clicked in there, and then the content showed up. Don't be afraid. It might happen to you. Just click in there, and if it doesn't pop up, you can always click on this button here, which is the toggle free full screen mode, which allows you to work directly with the content and covering your entire screen. That way you're not distracted by the media folder and on the right hand side, and on the left hand side your directory, you have your full screen directly with your focus on your content. And you can toggle it back, and it'll take you back to the original view. So this is mainly the area you're going to focus on, is editing the content within this main body, our main content area. If you notice, there's a header 3 here, just so that you identify that this is a header 3. Do not use header 2. You might want to emphasize or something. You say, hey, let's do a header 2 on that header. That way it can stand out a little bit better. Unfortunately, that's not good web practices. What we were told is that if you're going to use a header 2, you have to use it once on your page. So right now, the title of your page is set as a header 2, and anything below that should be secondary, which will be the header 3, 4, 5. So you can use multiple header 3s, and I think this page does have, yeah, multiple header 3s, and I think a header 4 here. Yeah, so you can do that within your content, but don't use header 2 for this header as well as the other header. I'm sorry, and because that's not best web practices. That actually makes it difficult for computer screen readers for ADA. Yeah, because they're reading the top header, which is the title of the page, and then your headers are subpage, which breaks your content up. So keep that in mind. Right now we're using Lorem Ipsum. This is just filler text, just to show you that you can emphasize, like here, I wanted to make that italicized. If I don't want it italicized, I can just turn it off. So this is basic Word toolbar functions for editing. So you can style some of your text using whatever's available here. You can also create a hyperlink if you wanted to. That gives you that option. You can also set anchor to anchor your content. So say you want this to link to the bottom of the page, you put an anchor here, and you can have this link to that section of your page. That's if you have a long page with a lot of content, then I suggest using anchor tags. In this case, there's not that much. It might look like it on the page, but these are actually blocks. So these are separated by blocks. So in this case, you don't have to use anchor tags for that purpose. All right, and there's the option to insert an image. Like I mentioned before, images are to be requested, and just for that purpose of quality assurance and copyright infringement. Okay, and insert embedded media. You can embed, let's say, HTML widgets that have HTML code or JavaScript. It doesn't work real well. I tried doing it myself, especially if you're using iframe content. It's not going to work well with iframe. Iframe is where you want to capture something on another web page or another website, have it available on your page, and that way users don't have to go to that website. They can look at, or that web page, they can look at the content directly on your page. Unfortunately, that doesn't work well in this system. Then there is, this is grayed out here, personalized content. I'm not sure why that's, okay. And it really doesn't do anything. Yeah, so let's just, oh, here we are. Oh. Yeah, let's not worry about that. I think that's secondary to something else. It's another feature to this website, but we're not using that right now. You have your cut, copy, paste. You also have your place plain text from Word, and then remove any formatting in case you don't want this to be formatted that way. Find, you can do a find replace if you want to find something within your content and replace it. Of course, we did the toggle full screen. And then, of course, your basic formatting here. This here is your style menu. So it has the different heading tags, header tags that you can use. If you want to emphasize or some text, you can make that large. That's actually too large. I wouldn't want to do that unless you find a specific reason why you want to use that. But for quality, I wouldn't use it. You have your basic bold, italicize, and then your header style tags to emphasize or some things. You have the right the alignment styles. You can center align, left align, right align. Tables, so you can actually create tables if you want to lay out your content, and these actually are styled options. You can put an image within a caption. Image with the caption on your page. So if you wanted to have an image with the caption, you can do that. It's already styled for you. With quotes, if this is a quote, it's styled for you, so you can. I didn't pick up the style. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not working correctly. But it's supposed to put that in quotes, but large enough where you know that that's a quoted message. But it's not working at this time. 2-column layout, 3-column layout. You can create a table. I suggest using these styles when you're doing a table. The only reason why is because these two styles for tables, even though you might want more than 2 columns or 3 columns, you might want 4 or 5 columns. You can still create those 4 or 5 columns, but use this style here because this is already mobile responsive, these table settings here. So if you use these styles, it guarantees that your table will be mobile responsive. If you don't use these styles and you create a table, your table's not going to be mobile responsive. It's not going to work well or look or view well on a mobile device like a cell phone or tablet or anything like that. So it's best to use these two styles for tables. table for data. Yeah, you can create a table just for data. Then you have your numbered list, bullet lists, and then down here are your primary button styles and your primary width and your secondary and secondary wide. Sorry, wide. What that does is if you want these to be buttons that are actually dynamic, you can select primary button, and I'm not sure why it's not working. That's just strange. Okay, let me see here and try again. Huh. I'm gonna put a test here. Maybe it's because it's in the bullet and this is strange. All right, I'm gonna refresh this page real quick. There's something going on. It might need to be refreshed. The good thing about this is I'm not gonna lose any my changes when you do that. So it's still there. And I forgot to mention that this system doesn't autosave. So it doesn't publish to the website. It saves it for you in case something like this where I have to refresh it or the power goes out and you're in the middle of editing something. It'll still save it for you as long as it does the autosave. The autosave happens every 5 seconds, I believe. Yeah. So you should be safe there. So I'm gonna try this one more time. It's not working. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on here, but this should turn into a button. And sure.
She's noticed that it works.
Oh, I see what you mean. It doesn't work in Chrome, but it works in Firefox. That could be true. With this system, it's supposed to work in every single browser. You shouldn't have any glitches like I'm experiencing. But in case you do, try another browser, and that could be the case. What we were told is that it should work in every browser, but apparently it's not working correctly. And I'm thinking I might have missed a step. I should have created a hyperlink and then make the hyperlink a button, because buttons are action-based and buttons have to link to something. So this is not a hyperlink, and I'm gonna go ahead and make this a hyperlink real quick so I can show you how to make a hyperlink. So what I did was I highlighted the text, I clicked on hyperlink, insert, edit link, and within here I'm gonna create the link. So I'm gonna put a title for the link. I'm just gonna put test. I can make it open up in a new window if I wanted to. And what I can do is I can link it to another page within the Episerver system here, just by navigating to St. Philip's College under College Container, St. Philip's College. And I'm just gonna grab a page right below my test page. You can grab a page from your respective website areas. You can also link to, let's say, an image that you have uploaded here or a PDF document. So I can also link to PDFs. So within, for this site, SPC, templates, and documents. Right now, I don't have anything in documents, but I do have an image and images. So I can link to that image if I want to. And it puts the name of the file in here. I can also make it a hyperlink to an email address. So if I wanted to, I can have it, oops. Go to my email address. Or if I wanted to go to an external link, say I wanted to go to a website that's not within alamo.edu. So say, for instance, I wanted to go to, and you don't have to type it, you can just copy and paste a web address. But say I wanted to go to Google. I can either type it in there or I can copy and paste the web link in here, and it'll go to that external link. And of course, there's an anchor. So if I create an anchor within this page, all I have to do is just find out what I name that anchor, and it'll display here, and I can select it, and it'll anchor to that position within the page that I create that anchor. So just for right now, I'm just going to go to the external link and click OK. And just to show you, it's highlighted in yellow, showing that this is a hyperlink. It's not going to show up highlighted in yellow on the live website. It's just showing highlighted yellow in the CMS, the Episerver CMS, because it's showing you that it is a hyperlink. That way you don't get confused with the content, because it doesn't have the underline unless you hover over it. So say for instance you have a hyperlink within here, it'll highlight it yellow, letting you know that's a hyperlink. So now that it's a hyperlink, I'm going to try to use that button style again, and I'm going to use primary. There it goes. Yeah, so my theory was correct. It has to be a linked item in order to make it a button. So I can use primary button, which creates that text into a button, or I can make sure it's highlighted, make it a wide, which will stretch it across the page. Now, aesthetically, that's not going to look pleasing if you have it stretched across the page. You might see that on our website. The only reason why we did that is to fill in that empty space that's within that page. But since this page has plenty of content, I suggest just keeping it as a primary, regular primary, and not a wide. Now, you notice how it didn't go back? Unfortunately, I'm going to have to do an undo, and it'll go back that way. So say I don't want it a primary. Now, the difference between primary and secondary, the primary shows it as an all blue button, and the secondary shows it as a white button. When you hover over it, it turns blue. Now, to see it in action, I'm going to try this preview button here. So at the very top, there's a toggle preview mode, and it'll show you how your page looks before you publish. That way you can see how it looks. And that's what it's telling you. This is the secondary button. I'm going to go back by clicking the same button. And I'm going to go back to that hyperlink. I'm going to change it back to primary. Oh, you know what? I'm going to have to do, it's showing primary here, but it's showing up as a secondary button. Unfortunately, you can't change between primary and secondary. You have to choose one or the other. Once you choose it, that's it, it's set. Even if, unless you do an undo right away. So since I did that preview, it took the changes for this button. So I can't undo it. So rather than doing that, I can just recreate, or I'm gonna do a cut, and then, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that. If I do a cut paste, it's just gonna paste the same settings. So there, if you notice, there was an arrow next to secondary button. When I clicked on secondary, it took it off. So right now it's showing the primary. That's the way to get around that. And I'm gonna do the preview so that way you can see, and that's the primary, it's all blue. And when you hover over it, it turns into a darker blue. So you have some options there. You can have it where it's white, then when you hover over it, it turns blue, or all blue and it turns to a darker blue. Yeah. Just to change up your content a little bit. Or if you have multiple buttons, you can switch between the two styles. All right, I'm gonna go back and notice this is a bulleted list right above it. To create a bulleted list, I'm gonna do it from scratch. Let me take this off. So basically you just lay out your content this way and then highlight it and then click on bulleted list. Or say you don't want it bulleted list, you want it to be numbered list, you can do that. Just click on your content. I mean, highlight your content and click on the numbered list, and it'll set it as a numbered list. And you can switch between the two. And I have two examples here. Now, if you notice this subheader, it's bold compared to this one here, which is a little bit larger. It's set to heading 4. We'll say you want both to be header 4. So you can just highlight it, take the bold off, and go to your style and make it a header 4. And now they're consistent. Okay. Any questions so far? Did I lose anyone? Ray, are you good?
Yes, sir. We're good.
All right. So,
I'm gonna jump in real quick.
sorry.
I'm gonna jump in real quick.
Sure, go ahead.
So in terms of the, when we talk about like this consistency, this idea of things looking uniform and all that, it's not to be dictating what you guys are doing and pushing it on your content, right? A lot of it comes from a design perspective. And so when we push out content, we want people to be able to read things quickly, and we want our web pages to communicate our messages in the best ways possible, right? So when you're using all these different types of headers and you're bolding,
Thank you, Susie. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't actually follow the steps in the handout. I kind of jumped through it. So I'm gonna go back to editing a block. And the reason why I get that was because I'm actually going through using the flow of the page. I started from the top going down. So I don't know why this keeps popping up. Sorry. All right, so to edit a block, all your blocks are already laid out for you. If you go back to the page the way it looks like on the website, you have your frequently asked questions, which has this accordion block. So this is show and hide your content. And then there's also this tab block here, which has your content separated within tabs. Now, not all of you might have these features on your website. And if you feel like you want something to kind of condense your content and make it a little bit more interactive, we can do that for you. We just have to reevaluate your page and see how we can make it into an accordion feature, or how we can place the tab block within your content. That way it can separate your content and make it more readable. And these are actually mobile responsive. So when a user goes to your phone, they will see it a little bit differently. They might see this as they will see this as a hide and show hide accordion, but the blocks will come up like a drop-down menu where they have to click on it and it gives them options, and they'll see what's in each option. So they'll see summer as an option, fall and spring. When they click on it, it'll show them the content for each tab item. So going back to the Episerver system, to edit a block, you will have to go to this menu that's within the block here. And most of your blocks are going to be in the content area main body section here. I know it's kind of confusing. You think this is the main body of the page. Well, technically it is. It's actually a separation. So this is the main content of your page, but this is within the main body of your page, which is where your blocks are housed. And then below that is the content area full width, which full width, anything that you want to put at the bottom of your page, completely with the page width itself. This is good if you want to put information at the very bottom of your page that expands the page. But for our purpose, we really don't need that. It's not necessary. Most of our content is just flowing within the middle of the page. So to edit this block, I'm going to click on this display menu. And it's right now, it doesn't give me the option to edit. And I think I know why. Bear with me. I'm going to give this user that I created permissions to edit this block. So if you run into this issue, and some of you might do that because we have to set permissions to the content blocks separately from the pages. And we might have missed a block. So if you have this, if you run into this issue, please let us know that you don't see the edit option, and we'll fix that as fast as we can. And I know just by looking at it, I noticed that it was a permission issue. So I'll go in there real quickly and fix it. So just bear with me while I do that. CJ, if there's anything you want to add, you go from there.
Building the content area blocks and, when they're needed. And if that's always going to be a function of our team for the formatting purposes, usually it is just for the sole purpose of, like I said, design visibility, right? And so if we allow for people to have all these kinds of permissions to be able to create multiple blocks, it becomes overwhelming, right? Because people naturally, right, like want some type of uniformity in terms of visuals. So just when we're creating blocks, I think you had a footprints request regarding that kind of question also, which I can get with you on a different time so that we can go into more depth about that. But he's going to go over these blocks in terms of how to edit them and, assuming that you have these permissions and going in from there. Now, just to be clear, does everybody know what a block is? I think that a lot of you are familiar with the term in general, right? Because a lot of you are super users, but Mr. Sanchez.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, so Destiny asked, could there be value in us putting in the content and you formatting before you approve? That would be the best practice. Because, sometimes it is just a hierarchy issue, right? Like sometimes the content isn't necessarily super robust. And usually we use these blocks to create the separation, right? So if something is extremely long in format, right? If there's a lot of content, a lot of copy, then that's typically when you'll see us using these blocks. Now, if there's something that can be established in terms of hierarchy, if we can do something with headers, if we can link it to different forms and different pages, then that's when it would be the best practice for us to reevaluate it in a different way. So L. Perez is asking, let's see, help me out with this question right here. L. Perez, are you there? I'm not sure.
Basically, I just want to make sure that we, as since we're being trained, we are able now to do all the web changes, modifications on our own web pages, with the exception of images.
Correct.
To go through you all. And then, since I've never used this system, I guess when I start making a few changes, I'd like to have access maybe to get you all to review it, or?
No, so what happens is at the top here, when you're ready to publish your content, you select ready for review. And then when you click on that button, it goes to either CJ or myself in an email saying that Letty has submitted content for review. And then we'll go in there and we'll look at it and see what content you added to your page. And what we're basically looking at is the layout of the page, making sure that everything looks consistent, everything looks good. We're not looking at the content itself, like the spelling or grammar or anything like that. We expect you to be the content expert for that information because you're the ones who are providing that information or getting that information and putting it on your page. So we're just looking at basic layout and stuff like that, making sure the header tags are correct and things like that. If it's not, we'll get back to you and say, hey, can you make this quick change, or not approve it and tell you that this needs to be changed. And if it does look good, then we'll publish it and it'll go live on the webpage right there and then.
Oh, okay. So everything will go through you. Okay.
Correct. So you don't have to contact us and let us know, hey, I made this change on the page. Can you take a look at it? The system.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good to know.
Okay. And I think I fixed the issue. So let me go back and check. Oh, wow. I guess I didn't. Okay. I'm not sure what is going on here. Let me see. Let me try another one. Nope. Wow.
Mr. Sanchez,
Yes, ma'am.
where did you get your background?
I downloaded a video and was able to plug it in.
That's a cool background with the water moving like that. Nice, very nice.
Wish I was there though. Tell you that.
Yeah.
I think we all do.
But you know, we got to work with what we got.
True.
Okay, let me try this one more time. Yay, I got it. All right.
Awesome. Great job.
All right, so this menu, display menu, will give you the option to edit. So if you don't see it, let me know and we'll fix that for you. Personalize, don't worry about personalize. This is just like we have multiple editors within your page. You can personalize it where you're the only person editing that content. In this case, we're not doing that. So it's whoever's editing the page at that time will have access to edit that page or that block. And then you can move the block up or down. So say you don't want the FAQs above office hours, you can put it below office hours that way.
Gotcha.
So let's move it back up. And I'm going to go into edit mode for the FAQs. And this is the group container, content container for your questions and answers. So this is a content container block. And within the content container block are individual blocks for each of your content. So you have to do an edit again for each section that you're editing. So this is question 1. I'm going to go in there and click on edit. And I can change question 1 and I can actually put a question. And then I can put an answer here. And keep in mind, so you're editing the block and everything that you are editing has to go through that approval process. So you'll have to submit it for approval. So ready for review after you make the changes here. So when I do that, it's going to go to CJ or myself. And then CJ, if you can do that real quick. I don't know if you heard those dings. That's me receiving the email saying that some content needs to be reviewed. Okay, so he published it and it should have changed here because that changed that question. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back to the page. Yeah, there it is. So it changed here. So that's how you edit content within a block. So you have to go into the content container, which is this FAQs here. It's a content container. Once you're in the content container, then you have to edit the block within the content container and then make your changes there and then submit that for review.
Johnny.
Yes.
Maybe you already answered this question, but when we're editing and we submit we plug in some information, can we preview it?
Yes.
Before we send it to you? Or once we send it to you, can we preview it and then go back and edit it in case that we didn't like what was placed? Or if there was some editing that needs to be done?
You could do it either way. I suggest doing it this way first by making your changes to your page and then at the very top here corner, toggle preview mode.
Right.
And preview your page and look at your edit that way.
I see.
And then submit it or make changes accordingly.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions so far in editing a block? Let's look good to everyone. Okay. All right. Let me see what else is there. I missed. Oh, so let's add documents to your page. So that's how you edit blocks. So from right now I'm in the blocks view, and that's the way you can view your blocks. I'm gonna go into media. Media will show me all the content that is uploaded to my folders that I can use for my page. Right now, these are the images. There's no, if you notice, there's no documents within here. So in order to upload a document, you'll have to have rights to the document. Oh, wow. I'm like everywhere today. I thought I had everything set up. All right, let me fix that real quick. So what do you think of the system so far? I know some of you worked with the the WCMS Electron system before. In comparison, what do you think?
It's not bad at all. It's, you know, somewhat close to the same.
Yeah.
Same functions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is actually way better than the Electron system, I think.
Absolutely.
Okay, I fixed it. All right, so going back, we're in the media tab over here in your assets folder, or asset pane. And I navigated to my templates folder. So you'll have to navigate to your respective folders. And you should have 3 folders within there: blocks, documents, and images. So right now you have access to upload any documents to this folder. Not this folder, but your folder under your documents. And in order to upload a document, you can click on this add button here. And it gives you this window. And this is to upload files. Then you click on add files here, and this will go to your desktop and look for any files that you want to upload directly from your desktop. So I'm going to go to my Dropbox. I have a file there that I want to upload, which is this test page doc. I suggest uploading PDFs rather than Word documents, unless you absolutely have to upload a Word document for student users to use. Then upload that Word document. The only reason why I'm saying stressing to use PDFs is because PDFs are kind of universal. If somebody needs Adobe Reader, they can download it. It's free. Word documents, you need the Microsoft Office suite to view the Word document. So some users might not have that option to view Word. Most computers have it now. Just in case, as a safeguard, let's just upload PDFs. So I'm going to upload this PDF, click on open, and it's uploaded. I click close, and it's right here in the system. So now I can use this PDF to link to my content over here. So that button over here that we created, the hyperlink, I'm going to actually hyperlink it to that test page doc. So I'm going to go back into highlight the text, go into edit link, and instead of using external link, I'm going to use media. And then I'm going to go into this ellipsis 2. And I have a search option here. So I can search, if I know the exact file name, I can search for it by typing in test page doc. And it should come up unless it's case sensitive. It's going to come up with document, anything that's related to test page doc. And it didn't come up. This thing's making a liar out of me. Well, it's a good thing I know where it's located, so I can just navigate to it. So you don't look for all sites. This is showing all district stuff. Go for this site, which you can narrow it down to St. Philip's. And I'm looking under templates in my case and documents here. And now I see test document. And then I click OK. Once I click OK, the document's showing there. I can click OK here. And it should be linked there. So if I do a preview and click on this link, oh, okay, I know what's wrong. I know what's wrong. So remember everything, and I'm gonna take this feature off. It's annoying, but I have right now that this documents folder has to be approved through the edit approval sequence. Now this user doesn't have access, and you're not gonna have access to turn this off. You can look at it and disable it, but oh no, wait, this user does have rights. I'm sorry. So this user has rights to do that. So I disabled the approval process for this documents folder. It was set up so anything that's approved within that folder will have to be approved by us. We don't want that. We want to allow you to upload as many documents as you want and link them to your site. Relevant documents, of course. So the reason why it didn't show up is because it was in that edit, the approval process mode. So if I go back into here and I click on edit, it's going to show that it needs to be published. So now I can publish it. Don't worry about this step. I'm sorry that I'm showing you this part. You shouldn't see this when you edit your documents. I mean, upload your documents and link them. I just had set it up on my end for this documents folder to be part of the approval process, which is.
And I have a question.
Yes.
A few minutes ago, you said, okay, you go to your far right and click on Media tab and then locate your department. Then you said something about going to the bottom and clicking on the plus. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, because it doesn't say that on the handout. I think that step was skipped.
Oh, okay. The reason why it's skipped on the handout is because I'm showing you the long way. The handout shows you the easier way of doing it.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you that right now.
Okay.
Okay. So say you want to upload 10 documents to your documents folder and then link them to your page. Instead of doing one at a time and going in here, going to add files, and then just selecting one at a time, you can actually drag and drop your files within this section here. It's awesome. So let me get my Windows Finder. Can y'all see this? And I'm going to get these images right here, and I'm going to drag and drop right into there. Now it's uploading directly to there. So I uploaded 3 documents, or in this case, images, to this folder. And now I can link to them. That's that simple. Just drag and drop. Did that answer your question, Linda? More or less?
Yes, much simpler.
Yes. So it's easy. So like if you're making changes quickly, and you need to upload a document, link to that document, just drag and drop. But make sure you're in the media tab and you're in your documents folder. Okay. And then you can link it to your page here. Okay. Is there any other questions? I think I pretty much covered everything on that document.
I have a question.
Yes, yes.
I have, you said to enter it into your document tab, but there's also an image tab. So there's images you want to.
So you're not gonna be able to upload images. You're only gonna upload documents. If you need to, if you need images on your phone, I mean on your website or your web page.
Oh, that's right. You told us.
Yeah, that would have to go through. Yes, correct.
Okay, thank you.
And within this documents folder, say you don't want these images in there or these files in there, you can move them to trash. Yeah, so I'm gonna move them to trash. And say, hey, I didn't want to move these to trash. I accidentally deleted them. I didn't want them to delete it. Well, if you come over here to this gear here, it's kind of hard. It's hidden. But if you go to this gear with the settings and show view trash, it shows what you put into the trash, so you can restore it back, and it'll restore it back to your folder.
Awesome. That's cool.
Oh, because I have rights. But yeah, it should restore it back to your folder. This user account that I'm using, it's restricted, so I'm not able to do that. I'm glad this is grayed out, but if you don't see this grayed out and it's available to you, do not push that. It's going to empty out everything permanently within this folder, and if you notice, there's other people that are using the system, and if you empty that trash, it's going to empty out for everyone, and they're not going to be able to restore their content back. So please do not empty the trash. Just restore anything that you need to restore back if you accidentally delete anything. Okay. Any questions? Okay. So you look up here, it shows the autosave. So autosaves for you. So if you made any changes to your page and you don't want to publish it, you should get an option to revert to published. Let me see here. Wow, this is just all over the place. Okay, then cancel your review request. So that, yeah, I submitted content to be reviewed to myself and CJ. I'm gonna cancel that. You can do that. You can cancel it because you want to make changes to it, and it will allow, it'll reset it back to you so you can make your edits. For some reason, it's not letting me revert to published, and it could be the settings of this user. Is anybody else seeing that on their end? If not, it's just my user permissions. It could be. Yeah, I'm not logged in as myself in this account. This is a test account that I'm using. Okay. But anyway, yeah, that's how you edit and add documents, links, buttons, edit your blocks, stuff like that. There's one more thing I want to show y'all. If you notice on the page itself here at the top, there's an image. Now we are I added this image. It's a stock image. But of course, we're going to use images that our photographers have taken within our department, or if you have a photographer that has high-res quality photos that you want to use, please share that with us, and we can add a banner image if you want it on your page. And what's good about this banner image, it's a block itself, and it allows you to put content within that block and links. So if you want to put a notice here, like I put the title Episerver training, you could put admissions deadline or something like that to capture your user's attention, and then put content down here. Admissions deadline is due the end of April. Please submit your application today, and then maybe have this go to the application itself to read more. So I'm going to show you how that's done. So if it's already set up on your page, you can go into your content block here and edit your group container, and then go in here and edit the block itself. There's the title that we saw, the Episerver training. You can change it and put, you can actually put a date if you want, and the date will show up on there. So let's say we want April 30th as the deadline. And then we can put our verbiage down here. And then let's just say that this is the application that it's linking to. Don't worry about the mobile image and the image here. That's the image